Okay. Good evening. Thanks for being here tonight. Welcome. Welcome, and thank you for joining, whether here in person or watching us online at home. We appreciate and thank the candidates for being willing and ready to share about themselves, and thank you to this community for showing your interest in learning who will best serve on our school board. My name is Kylie Terrell. I'm a proud Elkhart community member. We all passed the campaign signs, and now this evening we can put a face to a name and learn a little more about each candidate's motivation to run for Elkhart ISD School Board. Thank you to Pastor Hoffman from First Baptist Church for setting up the sound and streaming equipment, and thank you to Pastor you to attend school board meetings regularly and become more involved in matters connected to our EISD schools. The Commissioner of Education, the State Board of Education, and the Texas Education Agency guide and monitor public education in Texas. Our school district has significant latitude in shaping the educational programs of our ISD. These local citizens that we elect from our community make decisions about educational programs based on our community needs, values, and expectations. School boards are entrusted by us to translate the needs of students into policies, plans, and goals that will be supported by our community. Our school board makes decisions on two things that are very important to us all: our children and our money. We elect these leaders to make decisions that create the best ISD for our students, their current and future success, while using our tax dollars to fund programs, building improvements, curriculum decisions, staff recruiting, compensation, and so much more. Elkhart ISD is very important to the success of our children, which will in turn play out in a thriving future for our community. Therefore, the people we elect as school board members are very important. You can find information pertaining to meetings, agendas, and minutes posted on the Elkhart ISD website. People transfer and move to Elkhart because we are actively pursuing the One Elkhart agenda of creating, inspiring, and preparing our students every day. It is important for all stakeholders to be involved and keep this momentum alive and holding on to and striving forward to what makes us stand out. When you know more, you can make more informed decisions. Tonight, candidates are here to tell you what they want to share about themselves so you can make the most informed decision on Election Day. Early voting begins tomorrow, April 22nd. You can visit the Elkhart Administrative Building, also referred to as the White House, to vote. So let's get to it. Please give each candidate your attention. To start us off, we welcome Mr. Chad Steelely. He is running for position 1.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Elkhartians around here, and I thank her for that because she stays up to date on everything. As for most of y'all in this room, y'all know me. For those of y'all that don't, my name is Chad Steeley. I've now been in Elkhart for, this will be my 46th year. Started out here in Elkhart and found out it's a pretty good place, and I haven't left it. For most of y'all know what kind of person I am. Most of y'all have been around me. I'm pretty straightforward. My wife says to me all the time that no one ever has to question what I'm thinking about them or what I might say, because I usually just go ahead and say it. I don't know if she means that in a good way, but I'm probably saying that she probably means it in a bad way. But I'm going to be that straightforward person with you. And that's what I expect that each and every one of our board members should be. If you have a question, we should be able to have an answer for you. If we're not able to have that answer for you, we should be out there getting that answer for you. Because an informed community is the best community that we can have, and it's going to be the best outcome as we can for a school district. And as for Elkhart, the best school that it can be for our students, it's always about our kids. That's our first step as a school. That's our first step as a community. It's always about the kids. And if that's not what our agenda is as school board members, we need to stop and rethink what's going on in this community. Now, some of y'all here, and I look at the people here in this room, most of y'all here are like me. You started here in elementary, and you haven't left this place. Elkhart is home to you. It always has been. And there's a reason you choose Elkhart, and it's because Elkhart is that family setting that we've always had. And that's what we've always strived to be. That's why I started school here. My parents brought us down here from Houston back whenever I was only 1 year old. Luckily, I had brothers that were 13 and 10 years older than me. My parents needed to get them out of those school districts. So they brought us down here to Elkhart. We had family in Crockett, Grapeland, Palestine, all the surrounding areas. But my parents chose Elkhart. And it was because of the reputation that Elkhart has for always being that school that everybody wants to be at in this area. So I started elementary here in 1984, and I graduated in 1997. Started dating my wife in the year 2000. So for those mathematicians that we have in here, yeah, she's put up with me for 25 years now. That's a rough job in itself. And I now have 2 boys who are tied up in everything the school has to offer. I mean, from football to tennis and track to band to the student council to Interact to National Junior Honor Society. So needless to say, I spend a lot of time at this school, not only for my kids, but with my wife also, being she's became an Elkhartian. Just a couple of weeks ago, it's been a few weeks back, I was up here and I was helping the PTO out with a career day that they were having at the intermediate school. And I was standing out there on the ambulance, and one of the kids came up to me and he asked me, "What made you decide to go into being a first responder, and why did you choose that as a career?" And my answer for her was, the first part of it was the love of my community. I couldn't do what I was doing as EMS without having a love for the people that I serve. And I have to have the same answer for what's going on with the Elkhart School Board. The reason I run for the school board is because of the love that I have and the share for the community that I live in. And I think that Elkhart, the school, is a big part of our community. In some way or another, everybody in this room and everybody watching is tied to the Elkhart School District. You either attended Elkhart school, your kids attend there, your grandbabies attend there. Someone in your family is represented at the Elkhart School District. Our school district is the biggest thing for our community, and it always has been. So, and I want to be there to help keep Elkhart going in the direction we always have. Connections. There needs to be a good connection between the school board, our administration, and the community. There needs to be open lines of communication there, and nothing needs to be behind closed doors that needs to be out there and being advertised to our community. I also want to be there with all these new things that the state of Texas is getting ready to go through. this new voucher program that we're about to be introduced to, the new curriculum standards that the state is about to put out there. I don't want it just to be any curriculum that we're teaching our kids over here at Elkhart. I want it to be the correct curriculum, not just for a paycheck, but for the reason that we're here is to serve our students. The curriculum that we teach needs to be at the standards that Elkhart has always had. And that's one of my reasons that I run, is because I want to be able to sit there and help make those decisions on these curriculums. And I think with the school board that we have, I'd be a great asset with them due to the several years I have and the experience that I've sat back and done the school board with Elkhart. I also want to make sure there, like I said earlier, the communication between the school district, the teachers, and the community. I want to make sure that we're all being diligent in the way that we're spending the funds, and that a clear budget is presented to our community every year. I mean, I'm not an accountant. I can't tell you every line item, but I think it needs to be discussed. I think the community needs to know where our funds are going and why we pay the taxes that we pay for what's going on at our school district. Because that's part of that communication. And I believe our school board has done a great job in that. And leading this school, it's not just a one-person job. So I can't do it by myself, and the 7 board members can't do it by themselves. It takes the entire community to sit down and have a school district that we have to have for these kids. We have to sit back and understand that if our kids aren't the priority, we need to stop and reassess what we're doing. Because these children are the reason that we do the things that we do as a school board. I do thank each and every one of y'all for coming out and listening to us, letting us be able to talk to y'all today. And those of y'all that are listening online, I thank y'all for that. And I ask that God bless Elkhart and He keeps a watch over us. Thank you.
The next 2 candidates are running for position 2, so please welcome incumbent Mr. Stephen Ham.
This afternoon, and thank y'all for having me here and just say a couple words. Like I say, I'm running for position number 2. My name is Stephen Ham. I'm the incumbent. Just some stuff about me and my family. I graduated from Elkhart. My 2 children graduated from Elkhart also. Amanda Bridges, her husband's Cole Bridges, and I have my son is Justin. My wife, Tammy, we've been married 34 years. We have 3 grandchildren, not great grandchildren. We have 3 grandchildren, Kanan, Britton, and Allie. Kanan's the only one that goes to school right now in the elementary, and Britton will be starting next year. Far as school board related stuff, a couple of more about me. I retired from the state of Texas. I was a state police officer, state police investigator. I retired with 31 years, and now I'm currently the police chief in the Grapeland for the Grapeland ISD Police Department. So I've been down there about 3 years. As far as the school board, what I believe is pretty like what Chad said. Is we have to put our students first, and then we have to, after that, we have to take care of our staff. That's the main thing. We have to be frugal with our taxpayer money and ask questions. We just can't be a rubber stamp to everything. We have to ask questions and look into things and not always say yes. That's hard. I mean, because I know everybody wants a school board that gets along and all this, but sometimes you have to ask the questions, the hard questions, and you're not always going to get along, or not to get along, but you're always not going to agree with the other members, but you still get along, if you know what I mean. Because everybody has they have to represent their constituents that elected them, and we get calls and we have people tell us, hey, would you look into this, would you look into that, and so that's part of what we have to do as school board members is let their words be heard through us. So that's always thing to remember. Far as the school, I believe in academics first, and then it comes your athletics, your extracurricular activities, your band, and all that. But academics is the main thing. Your students need to get their academics, and then they can enjoy the athletics, their band, their FFA, and all that. So that's really important to me on that part, that we focus on the academics first, and then we go into the athletics and band and all that. Let's see here. Couple things that, far as curriculum, as Chad said, there's going to be a whole lot of new stuff coming out on curriculum, a lot of new safety stuff coming out. Far as what schools are going to have to do for safety, far as there's a whole lot of stuff. I mean, I can't get into all of it, but there's a bunch of safety stuff coming out too, and it's going to keep the schools safer because this is the time we live in. We have to add that safety programs to there, and then when we do add these safety things to our schools, we have to kind of open our eyes and don't be so closed in on just thinking about the kids in the school, but also the extracurricular activities when they go out, football, field trip, that's money, and the board, that's money, and the board. One thing you could do is you had to use at least, I think it was 20% for salaries. You had to put towards salaries, and you could use the other 80% to whatever the school needed. But our board at the time, we chose to flop it. We chose to use the 80% for salaries and 20%, the other 20% for the buildings and stuff, which gave the teachers and staff getting their five times a year they got their stipends. And so that was a big bonus for the teachers and stuff. Let's see here. Also, one thing that I was really passionate about is on the sports side was to make sure that the girls' sports got just as much attention as the boys' sports. And so when we got to go in, and we had a girls' coordinator finally hired a while back, and that kind of gave more attention to the girls' sports, because the girls' sports were getting a little left out.
And please welcome his child.
My husband Matt. Before we decided to have kids, a conversation that we had. That was really serious, and we thought about and prayed about was, where do we want our kids to go to school? We lived in Pressure Creek at the time. Matt is from Grapevine. He attended public school. He attended private school. I grew up around here. Like I said, went to Palestine. We didn't want big city for our kids. We thought about it. We prayed about it. We picked Elkhart. We chose Elkhart, and it was our front runner. We love the small town big pride. We love the faith, the family, the morals, and this is where we chose to be. We do have two kiddos who attend Elkhart. Zeke is 10 and he is in the 4th grade, and Ellie is 8 and she is finishing out her 2nd grade year. Like I said, we bought land. We lived here. We've been here for 8 years now. Couldn't make us move for the world. I currently work as a seamstress for the Handmade Heifer. I love the flexibility of this job. I do work full-time, but I work from home. So if I want to go on field trips, if I want to go volunteer at school, as long as I get my work done, it doesn't matter what my hours are. And I'm truly blessed to be able to do that. I have a passion for serving. I have a heart for it, and I love to spend my time working and doing for other people. I've served on several boards, several committees. My favorite part is behind the scenes, so I'm not enjoying this, but I do love to serve. We are members and regularly attend First Baptist Church in Palestine, where Matt and I are both the team leaders for the Family Fund Committee. I serve on the Capital Fundraising Committee and also on the Women's Ministry team. Here for the school, I this year have had the honor to be on the Student Health Advisory Council. In years past, I have served on the Parent and Family Engagement at the Elkhart Elementary, and also the Elementary and Intermediate. I've done both the Campus Improvement Plan committees and a few other site-based committees. One thing that I'm pretty proud of is 3 years ago, Miss Steeley came to Holly Wansley and myself and said, I've been wanting to do a PTO. Our moms used to PTO together when we were in school, and she said, I really think that our campus and our community could benefit from that. And so I went and met with an attorney and a CPA, and we started our nonprofit, our 501c3. The Elkhart PTO started at the elementary for the last 3 years. We've been at the intermediate for the last 2 years. And our main goals is just to enrich the education of our kids and to support our teachers and staff and show them appreciation. We've done several things. Last year we were able to bring in a presenter, James Wand. He's a nationally acclaimed. He came and did an anti-bullying magic show. That was a big hit. We've done several things. Like Mr. Steeley said, our career fair is one of the things that the kiddos and teachers seem to enjoy, but I think we as members enjoy it more than anybody. And the ultimate goal is from kindergarten through 5th grade, once they finish their years at elementary and intermediate, they're exposed to over 60 different careers. And that's something from a small community that kids might not always be exposed to. And so it starts them thinking and learning. And my son wants to be a truck driver this year because they have a bed in the truck. So they just learn about different opportunities and options that are out there, and that the sky is the limit. This year I was honored to be selected as the State Board of Education's Heroes for Children. I was one of 14 picked across the state of Texas, and I was honored to receive that for service and volunteering for the school district, and that was truly a humbling honor. I believe as Christians we're called to be the hands and feet of Christ and to serve. I feel like investing in our students today will have the highest reward for our future if we help to mold them and empower them, and I don't think that we have a greater calling here on earth. So I simply want to do my part. I don't have a bone to pick. I don't have hidden agendas. I simply want to join the team of the school board and do my part. Matt and I talked about it. We prayed about it. I've discussed with board members, with friends for well over a year before I even decided to pursue this as an option. As a board member, I have to say my first responsibility would be to advocate for our students. They are our top priority, and they are so important. Just after that, not by much, but to support our teachers and staff, to be there for them. I would have a high expectation for education. I'd prioritize safety, try to be the best steward of our community's tax dollars, to have open and honest communication throughout the district, and to be a voice for our community, to truly listen to what it is that the community wants and needs and try to meet those needs. Thank you for your time. Thank you for allowing me to introduce myself. I would appreciate your vote, but I ask that you just prayerfully consider and vote for your heart and let your voice be heard. Thank you.
And please welcome Mr. Andrew Bell. He is running uncontested for position 3, but he knows the importance of the school board, so he's here.
Good evening, everyone. Like she said, I'm running uncontested. I've been on the board now 3 years, so it's still new to me. It's a learning process. One thing you find out really quickly is it takes everybody on that school board to make anything happen. Either way. A little bit about me. I'm a lifelong Anderson County resident. I'm a Palestine High School graduate of 1991. I've been married for fixing to be 33 years to my wife, Krista. She's from Elkhart. Her mother was from Elkhart. All 3 of my boys went to Elkhart. So, I mean, we've been involved up here for years with everything. My oldest son is still the technology director here, so we've got a lot of ties to the community, to the school. I've got 2 grandchildren that are in school here now, so that keeps us involved. I was originally approached to run for this spot 3 years ago. Nobody was running. Nobody had even signed up. And I signed up on the last day. I wasn't real sure when I first got started, but I've really enjoyed doing it, being involved, met a lot of people, learned a lot. Like I said, I don't think people realize how much really goes on and how on the backside of everything. It's difficult. you know, like I said, you'll have a preconceived idea, and then when you come in, it's just totally different. I don't think of anything else. I'm a business owner in Palestine. I'm in the insurance business. I've been in business for almost 30 years now. So, like I said, which that's Palestine, but you know, we support everything down here. And like everybody else has pretty much said, everything has got to be geared towards the kids, but you also got to gear things towards the employees and whatnot too. I mean, you've got to, you know, and that's one thing I'll say about Elkhart. You know, same thing that Ms. Chaffin said. When our oldest son was getting ready to start kindergarten, you know, we were actually living in Elmwood at the time, and we moved back to Elkhart for him to start kindergarten. And like I said, we were here before, gone for a little bit, then back, and been here ever since, and been involved in some way or form for years up here. So, like I said, I appreciate everybody being here. That's just a little bit about me. For most everybody in here knows me. For the other folks watching, you know, that you can put a face to the name. So, thank you.
Once again, thanks for attending in person or listening online. And remember, your voice can best be heard by casting your vote, attending school board meetings, and being involved in Elkhart ISD schools for our students and the success of our community. They make very important decisions for our children and our money. And these young humans have a significant impact in our community as we continue to grow. And we want Elkhart ISD School Board to make the best decisions for all students, all staff in our community. So safe travels home. Thanks for coming, and go vote.